Mike from Music Radar. We are here at NAMM 2019. I'm with Steve, who's going to tell us about Marshall's new studio range, which is kind of really exciting because it's giving a lot of players what they've been asking for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for a long time people always gone about the classic Marshall sound, but smaller, lower wattage versions. So we finally got around to doing it. So there's actually 3 in the range, but we're only showing 2 because we've already released the Mini Jubilee a while back, which is now going to be part of this range. Yeah. But the 2 new ones, we've got the JCM 800 2203 and the Plexi, the 1959 SLP. So there's various variations within the range as well. So obviously the JCM 800 is known as the classic, studio classic, and you can get that as a 1x10 combo, which we've got down here, or you can get the head with a matching 1x12 or 2x12 cabinet, depending which you prefer. The same thing with the vintage, really, which is this one, the Plexi, the 1959, and you can get that as a head or a 1x10 combo, or with a matching 1x12, 2x12 cabinets. Yeah. So that's pretty much it, really. I mean, like, there's nothing different about them apart from the size and the wattage. So this is 20 watts, which can also be switched down to 5 watts. So as you probably know, any amp without a master volume, that's very, very handy indeed to be able to do that. So yeah, vintage and the classics. And on the vintage, you can do the kind of the channel jumping via the inputs, right? Yes, yeah. We still got the 4 inputs as it does on the bigger one. So you got your high treble channel, your normal channel. You can plug into one or the other, or put the patch cable in and blend the 2. Effects loops on them as well. Obviously these are all valve, and it's the same preamp valves as in the big ones. You got 3 ECC83s in the preamps, but only 2 EL34s instead of 4, obviously because it's not 100 watts. Yeah. You don't need 4 in there. So yeah, you can do all the same stuff as you can on the bigger one. Yeah. And in terms of like sort of flexibility on these, we've got obviously a varied kind of gain range. Yeah, both. I mean it is vintage voiced. It's not sort of high gain, sort of metal kind of thing. But saying that, these amps are really good with pedals. All sort of vintage voice Marshalls are really sort of big and open sounding, not very compressed. So if you want a high gain sound, it can do it. You just put something in front of the amp and you're there. But it goes from those sort of cleanish sort of sounds, like bluesy tones, straight through to classic rock kind of thing. Nice. And these are made in the UK, right? All made in the UK as well, which is great. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're aware that people are getting more competitive with their pricing and moving a lot of things abroad. We do make amps in our Vietnam factory, obviously, but we thought this heritage kind of product needed to come out of the UK factory. Yeah. Makes sense. And speaker-wise, what are we looking at in the combos and the cabs? Yeah, so the extension cabs, so the 1x12s and 2x12s, they're all Celestion, they're all 12-inch, and we actually went for V-types in all of them. And what we do at Marshall is we don't just kind of pre-choose a speaker and go, well, just stick that one in it, because that's what people expect. We always do a blind test. So we had a whole group of people in the room sort of trying out various speakers, and everybody was leaning towards that one. So yeah, interesting. Same with the 10-inch as well. A few reasons why we put a 10 in there. Most important one, we wanted to give people speaker options. Some people do prefer the sound of a 10-inch, but if you don't, you can still get the head and a 1x12 or a 2x12. So yeah. And it's a vertical cab that not comes with, but you can buy separately. Yes. Right? Yeah. I mean, the idea of that is obviously venues are getting smaller and quieter. So a lot of players are leaning towards wanting a smaller rig, so floor space is kind of important. So the upright cab obviously takes up a lot less room, so the drummer can be a lot more greedy. You always want to keep the drummer happy. Well, yeah, apparently. Perfect. I think that's about it, the studio series. Yeah. This is Mike from Music Radar. Cheers.